Joni Ernst, the senator from Iowa. She serves on the Senate Armed Services Committee and the Senate Homeland Security and the Governmental Affairs Committee, who has been listening along here. Senator, good to see you. I'm listening to Speaker Johnson calling for 5 Senate Democrats to come across the aisle to end this. But one thing that did stand out is that Democrats feel emboldened in this moment after those key race winnings election night. Can you speak to that?
Well, I can't speak to the feeling emboldened because we had a bunch of blue states that elected blue leaders now. So I don't know why they're cheering so loudly. But what I can say is that we are in now the longest government shutdown, and that is because of blue leadership in the United States Senate. Chuck Schumer, it is the Schumer shutdown, and he's got to stop with the shenanigans because there are millions and millions of American families that are hurting, in desperately need of SNAP funds, of women, infants, and children funding, the programs that are provided to my farmers back in Iowa. All of these services have shut down, not to mention the traveling public and the safety that is threatened by overworked air traffic controllers. This has got to end. And again, it comes back to that blue leadership right here in the United States Senate, Chuck Schumer.
Yeah. Democrats just not on board with Republicans for this one. And yet you're talking about it, the real world consequences of the shutdown that we continue to see day after day. President Trump is also closely monitoring the impact. He shared a series of videos on Truth Social just yesterday, but one of which dealt with Obamacare, which appears to be at the heart of the shutdown dispute on behalf of Democrats. Here's what the president had to say.
As I've said for years, Obamacare is a total disaster waiting to happen. Rates are going through the roof for the really bad health care that you're not getting even. Do something, Democrats. Sit down and do something. We want to make it better, or we want to get something that's good. Obamacare is a disaster, too expensive, and the rates are going too high. I said it right from the beginning. It's no good.
So, Senator, is this something that Republicans could be willing to chat about with Democrats, but maybe once the government's reopened?
Absolutely, and that is what we have said all along, is that, yes, we will address this situation, but it must be after the government is reopened. We need to take care of all of our constituencies. We know Obamacare has been an absolute failure for the American people. It hasn't saved on the cost of health insurance. Matter of fact, you know, a lot of those insurers will pocket those subsidies and raise the rates. So we need to address the situation. It may not be in the way that Democrats want, but certainly we are absolutely open to having those discussions. But don't hold our American families hostage over this issue. We need to change Obamacare. We know that. We need to figure it out, make sure that the vulnerable are taken care of, but make sure that illegal immigrants are not receiving the benefits, and make sure that the fraud and waste within the program is ousted.
I've got to ask you a couple more things really quickly, if I can, Senator. One being the nuclear option that the president seems to think is a good idea. Many Senate Republicans have been pushing back on ending the filibuster. Others say the Democrats are going to do it if they get control of Congress. I'm wondering where you fall on this in day 37 of this shutdown. Is that becoming more of an appealing option for you, or are you against ending the filibuster?
Well, God bless our president, because he is so frustrated over this situation. But we have to remember that filibuster is there for a reason. And certainly if Kamala Harris and Democrats had controlled the White House, the House, and the Senate, we would have seen the Green New Deal. We would have seen a packed Supreme Court. We would see D.C. statehood, Puerto Rico statehood, all of these awful things. We would have socialized medicine across the United States. So we want to keep the filibuster in place. I don't know that the Democrats will actually do this. There is no guarantee, but I certainly don't want to be the Republican Party that broke the institution of the Senate.
Information, truth, is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.